Hey drummers, it's Rob Litton here from drumstheword.com. Welcome to another free video song lesson. This song was suggested over on my Facebook page many times, so I'm really pleased to be able to finally get round to doing it. I forgot what a classic this song is. The song is Lido Shuffle by Boz Scaggs with Jeff Porcaro on drums. That's the drummer from Toto. He's a session drummer famous for his grooves and his shuffle work. So just made for a song like this, the title Lido Shuffle. I mean, come on, you've got to get Jeff Porcaro on drums for this. So what I've got for you are 2 pages of PDF notations, taking the main drum beats and fills from the song. You can download these from my website for free. You'll find a link beneath this video. You'll also find a link to my Facebook page below as well if you like. So let's get started. We've got the first drum beat that occurs right at the beginning of the song. The main shuffle drum beat, the big boy. The one shuffle drum beat that every drummer should be able to eventually play because it's just so much fun, it sounds great, it's so useful in so many places, but it does require a little bit of practice and some technique. So unsurprisingly, the right hand is playing a shuffle rhythm on the hi-hats. 1 and 2 and this is how I count shuffle triplets. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But understand each of those beats, we've got 3 notes I'm feeling. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm playing the shuffle hi-hat note on the first and the third note of each of those beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's what gives the shuffle its lilt. We're playing in 3 triplets, we're feeling it in groups of 3, and the shuffle pattern happens to fall on the first and the third note of each triplet. So the hands, we've got the right hand playing on the hi-hat, we've got the snare drum, left hand playing some ghost notes. The snare drum backbeat falls on beat 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But to take it up a notch, to get to Jeff Porcaro level, we've got to put in some ghost notes. And what he does is he fills in all the gaps, those middle notes, those middle triplet notes, as you can see on the notation, with a ghost note. They're the notes written in brackets. They're played quietly, a little tap note with the left hand. So to play just the hand part, ignore the bass drum for now, we get this pattern. We've actually got the first half of the bar is going to be exactly the same as the second half of the bar. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So a little bit of coordination to get used to that to start off with. And notice how quiet those ghost notes are. It's really important you play them as quiet as you can. Otherwise they're going to take away from the backbeat on beat 2 and 4. The trickiest part is that 2 triplet or 4 triplet where you're playing an accent followed by a ghost note. To practice that movement, and then we can put it together. So you shouldn't really hear, well you can, but the focus of the snare drum is on beat 2 and 4 there. So the next thing is to add in the bass drum, and what Jeff now does is he fills in all the other gaps that haven't got snare drum notes on them with the bass drum. So we've got all the notes being filled up in the bar between the bass drum and snare drum. So we get this shuffle pattern that follows kind of the hi-hat. We get 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that's the main shuffle drum beat. That gets used in so many songs because it's so useful, so versatile, so much fun to play and sounds so great as well. So before we go on to the next section, let's hear what that sounds like without the microphone on so we can hear just the drums. Here we go. Okay, this next break occurs 18 seconds. We get a few of these, but they're all very similar. So this first one really sort of gives you the basic framework. It's whether he's playing these stabs on the tom or the snare drum that changes. The rhythm stays the same. So I've got the first bar, which is like our introductory drum beat, but notice how the hi-hat stops on beat 4 with an open hi-hat note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beat 4 is left open. 4 and then we close it into our drum fill bar with a flam on beat 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You don't really have to count this stuff. You can hear the rhythm. Da 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 dum. That's the sticking, that's the orchestration for that first drum beat. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And feel free to move your hands around different crash cymbals, any sticking you like. Left, right, I've written there because it makes sense, leading into the down beats, but you can use any sticking you like. So let's hear this 2-bar pattern up to speed. And then at 28 seconds, Jeff plays this one-off drum beat. He only plays it one time in the song, just for a few bars. But I thought it was interesting enough to include. What he does here, and it's hard to hear exactly on the mix, whether he is leaving out ghost notes here, but he's opening the hi-hat on beat 2 and 4. We're playing this pattern with the right hand. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. It's like a jazz thing. And 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, except the other way around. That's what the right hand is doing. So let's take a look at the first half of the bar, because the second half is exactly the same again. We get with the ghost note, 1 triplet 2, and I don't believe he's playing 2 trip. I don't think he's playing that middle triplet note. I think he leaves it out. 2, and then we get with the hi-hat still open, and 3, where it closes, and 3, and then it repeats. 1 triplet 2, and 3 triplet 4, and 1, oh, it closes there. That's surprisingly how tricky that is to play slowly. When I speed it up, it's not so tricky because the hi-hat foot isn't hovering so slowly. It's doing a faster movement. One of those weird situations where actually playing it a little bit faster is more comfortable, but you should practice it slowly. I certainly did when I was learning these things originally. That's how it's got into muscle memory, and now I can play it faster. I'm not really thinking about it, but I had to play it slowly to start off with. Okay, enough lecturing over. You know what to do. Let's hear what this sounds like played up to speed. So then at 42 seconds we get our first 4-bar big stab section, and these sections are very, very similar to each other. So the first one is really all you need to understand, and then you can explore the orchestrations, change the snare drum to tom notes, as I said earlier on. So we get this. We get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The first bar. Second bar, skip over 1. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Third bar's the same as the bar above it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then the next bar is exactly the same as the bar above it as well, but you can hear a hi-hat foot being played on beat 1. If you want to include that kind of stuff, it's up to you. So we get 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Bit faster, the whole thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Again, if you've heard the song enough times, you can hear the melody. You don't have to count it. So let you hear me play this up to speed now. Okay, this next section on page 2 occurs at 52 seconds, and it's a one-off sort of little section in the song, but I thought it was cool, kind of like some stabs with a drum fill at the end. It features a classic Jeff Porcaro drum fill at the very end, the second bar, very similar to the intro to Rosanna by Toto, obviously played by Jeff as well. He likes to play these little triplet licks at the end. So we get, for the first bar, 1, 2, 3. Hi-hat's open for 2 and 3. They're just playing quarter notes now on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 where the hi-hat closes. And 4, and. Then to the next bar, skip over beat 1, we get 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 3. Closes the hi-hat again on beat 3 with the flam. 3, and then we get that triplet lick. 4 triplets. 4 triplet 1. Now I recommend you start it, and I believe this is how Jeff plays it as well, I've seen him play it a few times, left-handed. Start with your left hand so you come out with the right hand nicely. If you start with your right hand, that's fine, but know you're going to hit the crash cymbal on beat 1 with your left hand. So it's up to you what you feel comfortable with. I think you should play left, right, left, just because it's something different. You used to starting everything with your right hand. Hey, let's try and play some stuff left-handed as well. But it just lends itself really nicely, the left hand obviously, to come out on the right. So again, those 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4 triplet 1. And I accidentally played right, left, right, but you know, I came out with the left hand okay. So now let's hear those 2 bars played up to speed. Okay, so 128 we get these longer breaks where Jeff leads the rest of the band in with some lovely little drum fills, very dynamic drum fills. Now what I've got for you at 128 is a bar of 4/4, so 4 beats in the bar, then a bar of 2/4. The reason it's that length is because I've just started Jeff's drum fill on beat 1, imagining it's on beat 1. It's not, I don't think he's staying in time with anything. I think he just comes in when he feels or when he was cued to come in. I don't think there's anything going, it's not in time with anything because I've tried counting along to it and I can't work out what beats it land on. It's nothing clear going on. So I believe he's just tapped back into the studio, tapped back in on the studio and he comes in with the drums. So to make it easy, rather than presuming it's the beat 2 of the, what I've done is I've started the drum fill on beat 1 and then it ends where it ends. Okay, so that's why it's a bar of 4 and 2. It could be just a bar of 4 starting on beat 3 and then ending on 4 in the second bar, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, it's just we want to learn the rhythm, not where it falls in the beat, because we've got the song for that. So we start the drum fill on the snare drum. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, very simple. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3. Lovely little flam at the end. It requires a little bit of technique that. Right, left, right, left, right, left, and the left hand flam. There's a little bit of muscle memory to get used to playing that. Of course, if you can't play that flam at the end, then leave it out and just play. So, but Jeff plays 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, and then we go back to beat 1. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 and 4, and 1 to the next bar, and 1 and 2 and 1. That's that lovely little drum fill he comes back in with the band for. So let's hear what that sounds like up to speed. And then finally, probably the trickiest drum fill of the song, because it goes around the drums, it uses some dynamics, and I've written it as a bar of 4/4 and a bar of 5/4 for the same reasons I gave you for the previous lick. Is it's just I thought I'd start the first note you hear on beat 1, and then the fill ends where it happens to end, and it happens to end at the end of a bar of 5/4. But it could have been anyway. So this is what we got. So the first thing we hear Jeff play is the hi-hat foot on beat 1, and he comes in on the upbeat of beat 1, 1 and 2 triplets, and those first 4 notes are played from very quiet to very loud. Well, not very loud, but very quiet to normal volume. Then he moves to the next drum, and it's a little bit simpler. We just play 2 groups of 3 here. Then down to the floor tom for the last 3, 1 triplet, this is the bar of 5/4 now, 1 triplet, 3. And this is a bit tricky because you've got, unlike the previous lick, where the last note before the flam was a left hand, this one, the last note on the floor tom before the flam is the right hand. So we get right, left, right, and I just keep the same flam every time. So I'm still playing a left hand flam, but you might want to play a right hand flam if that feels more comfortable for you. But I'll play a left hand flam. So we get to 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and 3, and the bar continues 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and it ends on the end of 5. So slowly, and it's a bit tricky to count that first bar, 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1. 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1. I did one extra beat, didn't I? I counted one extra beat too long there in the tom somewhere. Anyway, let me again play it up to speed for you properly. Here we go. So if you've got any questions about any of that, feel free to email me at rob@drumstheword.com and I'll be happy to help as much as I can. Don't forget to download the free PDF pages that came with this lesson. You'll find the link beneath this video. Also for my Facebook page, if you want to make your own song suggestions, that's the best place to do so. And then you might also want to consider signing up to become an online member at my website. And what I offer for $97 is a full year's access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's over 350 full song lessons. I teach you a song from start to finish, every single bar, every beat, every fill. You get the fully transcribed drum chart for every single song lesson that comes on the website. And like I said, I've got over 350 famous and popular songs already. I'll give you more though. As a thank you for signing up, I'll give you access to hundreds more videos teaching you many famous drum beats, fills and solos. I also give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also get instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. Plus, if you're ever on my Facebook page, you also get to influence what songs get chosen. But if you've got any questions about any of that, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.